In this video, we're going to talk about what happens next once you're a month ahead. I'm a big fan of getting a month ahead. I'll talk about why I think that makes sense, and we'll talk about what are the next steps and how can you use automation to help you hit your financial goals on autopilot. If you're new to the channel, I'm Andy. I help six-figure families and entrepreneurs break the paycheck to paycheck cycle with automation. Let's talk about why a month ahead. You may have heard of Dave Ramsey. He's been in the financial game for a long time. And in 2003, he had a great book that I read called The Total Money Makeover, which he says the first step for everybody is baby step one, create a $1,000 emergency fund. If we look at, you can just Google inflation calculator. That's what I did for this video. Type in $1,000 in 2003 when the book came out and look at it adjusted for inflation. And right now that would actually be, I'm reading off the screen here, $1,709.46 in today's dollars would be needed to have, really $1,000 baby step one emergency fund. So I am a big believer of helping my clients get 1 month ahead. I like the idea that that number is flexible because all of our financial goals are actually predicated not on our income, but on our expenses. So if you are 1 month ahead, that means you have 1 month of money set aside for bills like rent, utilities, all your, Amazon subscriptions and all that stuff, plus the money you need for groceries and going out to eat and household toiletry stuff and entertainment. That factors in to be 1 month. And so once you are 1 month ahead, I think that's a great starting place to start thinking about achieving other financial goals, whether your goal is getting out of debt, whether your goal is maxing out your 401k, whether your goal is planning the dream vacation. The beautiful thing about automation is we can do multiple things at once simultaneously. I'm a huge fan of not doing the focused intensity, of not choosing one goal at a time and putting the rest of your life on hold while you want to pay off debt, while you want to save up for a wedding, or whatever your goal is. I think, and I know from experience because so many of my clients have done the Dave Ramsey plan. So many of my clients have gotten stuck on baby step two for maybe a decade or longer. If we use an analogy like losing weight, if your only goal is weight loss, be prepared that you will do some very unhealthy things to achieve that goal. If you want to get in great shape, if you want to be a healthy person, you're going to change and do different behaviors. Here's some examples that this is what I try to do. I'm 40 years old. I've got a few pounds to lose. And instead of me going on a crash diet, let's just say as a 40-year-old who's 6'5", 228 pounds, last I checked, I need 2,800 calories to maintain a healthy weight. If I say, you know what, let me just do 1,000 calories a day. Let's see how that goes. I know that I'm going to be super grumpy all the time. Everyone around me is not going to be thrilled by that. It's going to be very difficult for me to adhere to this incredibly strict diet. If I make it a week, I'm going to fall off the wagon, probably eat an entire pack of Oreos, feel guilt and shame, beat myself up a lot, and then look for another diet because diets don't work, right? This is what people do all day long with their finances. I see it all day, every day, and this is a problem that I'm here to solve. So what we should do instead is, once we are a month ahead, we can figure out how much cash flow is left over. And all my clients have a spreadsheet that they fill out that gives them clarity on these things, right? They know what their expenses are. They know what their spending is. It's very simple to fill out. And once they have clarity, once they're a month ahead and they say, hey, I've got $1,000 a month left over, now the conversation for this video can really begin. So everyone's goals are going to be different. Your goal might be paying off debt or saving for a wedding or a cruise or, buying a house. Whatever your goal is great. And we can allocate with automation the numbers, putting more money towards some of those goals and less money towards other goals, which is awesome. So again, I'm a big fan of thinking of these goals. Let's say there are 4 goals for most people. For my clients, typically these look like paying off debt more aggressively, putting money in emergency savings to get beyond 1 month, closer to 3 months, putting money in short-term savings buckets for, home and auto maintenance or Christmas or kids stuff, whether it's camps or sports or whatever else. And then lastly, investing. So everyone has typically these 4 goals, and it's really just a matter of how we allocate dollars to help them achieve those goals based on what priority they have. So some more examples here. If your goal is to pay off debt, for most of my clients, I don't recommend putting any more than 25 to maybe 33% depending on if you are very aggressive and want to get out of debt, maybe 50% of your positive cash flow onto debt. Because again, going back to that fitness analogy, we want to be doing things like investing. Investing is going to grow our wealth over time. We've got to also continue to simultaneously increase our cash position because again, going back to the kind of Dave Ramsey small emergency fund, if you've got that $1,000 starter emergency fund and you get a transmission that dies in your car, ask me how I know how that feels, then you're going to be coming out of pocket thousands of dollars and you're going to have to go, guess what, back into credit card debt to solve that problem. Almost everybody at that stage of 1 month ahead can put $10 into investments. And I think that it's very good to be thinking this way because oftentimes I have worked with plenty of people that have fallen into this category, by the way. People spend years getting out of debt and make zero progress on investing as a result. And the time value of money is really not in their favor at this time, meaning they are not having dollars that are able to compound and grow over time, which is incredibly problematic. Okay, so wherever you are, think about those 4 buckets and maybe where you fall on that category. Or ultimately, what's important to you. Again, maybe going on a honeymoon is really important. And so you can create a bucket for that and dial that in and kind of over allocate to that bucket and, put extra debt payoff as a lower priority in this short period of time. And that's great. But the beautiful thing is we live in different seasons of life. Different things happen to us and there are different priorities. And our priorities are always moving around and shifting. And so we can dial these things up, dial them down based on where we are in life. So that's it for today. I wanted to keep it super simple and just riff on this concept of now that you're a month ahead, let's consider those priorities. It can get a lot deeper than that, obviously, as we talk about. I've got a great video that you can check out up here about the order of operations for investing. Once you get to the place where you're able to pour money into investments, that is a great video for you. As always, if you're interested in applying to book a call to talk about coaching, that is 90% of what I do. You see me maybe here on YouTube or you found me on Instagram, but the reality is 90% of what I do is helping people solve these problems by holding their hand through Zoom meetings and walking them through my automation process. If you want to check out my automation framework, there'll be a video down below in the description. Again, if you want to book a call, check the link down below. I also have a course. If you're making $100,000 or less, if you're really making less than $100,000, I would check out the course as an option. That is a great way to kind of deepen your financial knowledge and see what you can implement on your own. Thanks for watching.